Mike's Daily Podcast.
FS. Where did I go? I was gone for a couple days. I was gone. I was not even in your podcast app, whatever you listen to this show on. My name is Mike Matthews. It's Mike's Daily Podcast. This is what the show is. Broadcasting from Podcastro Valley, Mont, the last place on earth. And it's called Cafe Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The restaurant that I'm at. Oh my. Things are different now that I've not been here.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
In a long time now, I'm gonna sing a song about a hurricane. Here I am. No, I'm not gonna do that thing. I'm not gonna sing that song by the Scorpions. It's not appropriate right now, and people are worried, and I know how that is, and I know how. Because last year, I went to Florida right after a hurricane.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Right after Irene, or Irma, or whatever it was, a woman's name with an I, and I guess I
Mike's
was impressed.
Daily
I was worried as all
Podcast.
get out, because that's all the media talks about. And the media doesn't give you any information. They just tell you, because they don't know. Nobody knows where this thing's going to go. That's how hurricanes are. It's friggin'... Welcome to our world, everybody. Welcome to California's world, where we don't even know what the friggin' when an earthquake's going to happen. That's our big thing. Or fires. Fires, you know, okay, if the wind's blowing this way and the fire's blowing and eating up all that hillside, it's going to come down this way because of the wind, blah, blah, blah. But look who walked in. Some people walked in to Cafe Anyway. Who are they? Your guess is as good as mine. Let's find out. Hi, Mark. It's Benita Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? Well, there you go. It's Benita.
That's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
I'm in the podcast picture today.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Microphone placement.
You bet. It's the best thing ever, everybody. Look who else is here.
Oh, Mark, I make the laziest root beer. I make the Brewmaster. I'll cut you. Oh, boy, how's the root beer right now, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's right. It is a good one. Because things are good. Although they're not bad because I didn't get any root beer. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, so I had to...
And here's today's podcast picture.
I got to sleep in. That's what I had to do. I had to do that training thing. That was fun. With Jarrell and May. We talked all about the ins and outs of the radio. Things maybe I didn't know. I don't know. I think it was more... Hi, Basil. More or less an excuse to get up later than usual, which was very nice, because last night I'm hitting some beautiful REM sleep, and my dog, who you just heard bark moments ago, he starts like getting up and shaking and doing his thing. You know when dogs, they get wet and they do that thing where they shake really fast? Well, he does that thing where he's shaking off, and then he's kind of repositioning himself on the bed. Well, that wakes me up, so now forget it, I can't go back to sleep. So 4 hours sleep, Mike, is what I am today, ladies and gentlemen. I said some things about Bob Woodward not liking Obama. And I don't know, I might have meant Carl Bernstein. Is he still alive? Does anyone care? Does anyone care anymore about his stupid book, Bob Woodward's book? Does anyone care about the anonymous thing from last week? Talking all about Trump? I don't know. It's not like I care anymore about this stuff. I'm not a news junkie anymore. I take how long have I been not doing this show? Since Friday? I really seriously thought about doing a Sunday show. But I felt Sunday that I had said everything I had to say. I talked about au pairs on the last show and banning media idiots like the Alex Jones. You idiot! Because he is. But, you know, he's still going to make money because the people that follow him to the ends of the earth are going to follow him and find his webpage and do all that stuff. But I watched a professional commercial guy who's been doing talk radio for 40 years a guy who has job security all that time, who's been doing his show forever. And I watched him do his show, and I thought, could I do that? I think, yeah. But you wouldn't. I would have to basically everything that is Mike, I would have to just cut out, throw away, and just be blah. It's more of his show. This guy's show is more of an interview show. He talks to people. He has guests on. He can't really do this. And now, okay, so I don't do the interviews anymore because I got so sick of the people's. I guess I don't like the direction people take this show. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I don't like the direction when I have guests on the show. They sometimes will take the show in a direction that I don't like. Por ejemplo, the time I had someone on, and I thought for sure we were going to discuss this one topic. Instead, they ended up plugging some stupid thing that I thought was ridiculous, and they kept going back to that and talking about that. And I don't like that. And that's what happens on all the talk shows. The people come on the talk show so they can plug their thing. And how many times can you watch that, hear that, see that? It's done. That's why I don't watch TV. That's why I don't watch the talk shows. I was listening to a podcast, the New York Times Daily, and they were talking about Bob Woodward and about how he was going on Stephen Colbert. Well, I didn't see it, but it probably was the stupidest, dumbest interview. Because what are you going to ask Bob Woodward on a funny, hey, I'm Stephen Colbert, ha ha ha, laugh, laugh, laugh. Okay, let's talk to Bob Woodward. It's not going to be, I don't think you're going to get anything from it. I mean, it's TV. There are some interviewers who do a good job. Okay, let's go back to that. Because the reason why I interviewed so many people, and when you go to MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, the thing you see at the top, you see the home button, then you see interviews A through F, G through L, M through R, S through Z, and that's because I've done so many interviews with all these musicians. And my whole thing is, when I do an interview, is I wanted to do something different. I wanted to take it in a way people... They get asked the same 5 questions all the time. I wanted to ask them others. And I'm fascinated by songwriters and singers because they do come up with these songs and they do expose a piece of themselves that somehow applies to all of us. And I love that about music. And then I was getting people that were on the show and they were about as exciting as that most unexciting thing you just thought of. And then it was not good. So I thought, I'm done with the interviews. And there you can still find some points in those interviews were good. Some of the times I tried my best. I think I did get blood out of a turnip or water out of a stone or whatever the hell it is. And that's what I did on those shows. So at any rate, the point is that Cory Booker did that big stunt last week where he said he was going to read the things that he wasn't supposed to read because they were confidential. Do you really think Cory Booker can beat Trump? This is the problem I have. I'm trying to think. I don't. There's just something I don't get quite about Cory Booker yet. Maybe I need to do more research about him, but I don't know. And doing a big stunt to get in front of the people, because that's what people are doing now to get to be president. And in British Airways, all of the stuff you ever put into the British Airways, do you fly British Airways? Because now all that is on the internet, apparently, or hackers have that information. So I've never flown British Airways, but it seems, gosh, what information, who doesn't have our information, it seems like, in this world. So you just have to be vigilant and check your, credit card, that nobody's buying things. Hey, what's this charge? How did this charge happen? and have all the security alerts on, do the double passwords, the code verifications where they have to call your cell phone or text your cell phone, and do all that and be careful. And Project Runway is going to Amazon, the Amazon network. I used to watch Project Runway quite a bit. Actually, I watched it on Hulu back in the days when I was married, and that seemed to be the only television show we could agree on. And it was the Tim Gunn Make It Work was great. Heidi Klum could sometimes be funny, but the same. I hate those shows. The judging time where it comes down to the end and they have to be judged, and they do the same dramatic that sound, that dun dun. It sounds kind of like the Law and Order thingy, which sounds just like this. They do that a lot, and all these dramatic sound effects. Well, not quite like that, but anyway, that was a good, exciting moment in the show today, wasn't it? As we go outside a cafe anyway, we were bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. This is 4 hours sleep, Mike, by the way. I hope you enjoyed it. I, last week, had something wrong with my... what was it? I thought... I had a little bit of scratchiness in my throat, and my lovely lady friend gave me this stuff called Ocean. It's called Ocean. It's some kind of stuff you spray in your nose, a nasal spray. So I spray a little Ocean up my nose. Do you know, all of a sudden, it is like a friggin' waterfall coming out of my nose. It's just all this, yes. It's like disgusting. All this stuff coming out of my nose, like water. But it wouldn't stop. It was weird. I don't know about Ocean. I did feel better the next day, thankfully. But that, I don't know, is it some kind of, is that what it's called, an expectorant? Is it it gets everything coming out of your whatever? I don't know. And then I listened to a Joe Lieberman interview. Joe Lieberman was almost our vice president in 2000. He ran with Al Gore. He was our first Jewish vice president nominee. And, of course, they lost to George Bush after the election where they won the popular vote, but lost the Electoral College, lost the Supreme Court, and the hanging chads and all that. And so Joe Lieberman was on this show I was listening to, and he talks like, he has this very interesting way of talking where he kind of sounds like this, a little bit like this. We did the best that we could. It sounds like he's falling asleep as he's talking. Joe Lieberman also was... John McCain seriously thought about having him as a vice presidential candidate, so he would have been the first guy ever to be a vice presidential candidate for both a Democrat and a Republican. But then John McCain went with Sarah Palin. But Joe Lieberman, very interesting guy. But here is this big thing. Now I'm not a politician anymore, but I have a lovely wife of 50 years, and we have 8 kids and 27 grandkids, and they all come over on Folks, can I just tell you that's not me?
No way.
No, absolutely no. No.
No! God, please, no! No!
No.
No!
No. It's not me. I am not going to be that sleepy, sad guy. No! That's why I continue to podcast. And I will not stop. No matter what. I'll step on your toe. I will keep podcasting, and I will not do shows where I'm interviewing people that are boring. No! And I'm not going to have ever as a sponsor Bowl and Branch. Oh, God, I keep hearing... I hate that. It's a bowl, and it's a branch off of a tree. So it's called Bowl and Branch. There's some website called that. And it's the most... I hate that name. Bowl and Branch. Ugh! By the way, Bowl and Branch, if you would like to sponsor the show, that'd be great. We don't have any sponsors right now, so that'd be awesome. Also, So sad. They finally gave out the information about what exactly killed the lead singer of the Cranberries. When she first died, everybody was, what? Why? She was so young. What happened? And they thought it was drugs. Well, it was actually alcohol. And she was in her bathtub, and she drank too much, and she drowned. That's what happened. And we didn't get that information till like last week. What the hell? And this happened all the way back in January. Dolores O'Riordan. God, she was great. Great singer. Great songwriter. How many Cranberries albums do I have? I think all of 2. But still, Dolores O'Riordan. And Sylvia, who sometimes listens to the show, said that she had a moment with Dolores O'Riordan at a Cranberries concert where Dolores looked right at her and locked eyes with her. And apparently they did not unlock for quite a while. And that's the end of the show. Next show, it's going to be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Get some sleep. Who used to say that? Tracy Ullman, that's right. Oh, and go listen to a Tracy Ullman song. She's actually a good singer. Episode 1701.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!